Hello there everybody, this is Graham, also known as a Collector 75, and welcome back to part 2 of my Crossfire Fansproject O2 A and B sets. This is the second part obviously, and I'm just going to be attaching all the various bits that come with them, the so-called combat unit appendage add-on kit, A and B, because obviously with Swindle and Blast Off, because that's what I'm calling them, even though they're called Munitia and Explorer, but they're obviously Swindle and Blast Off. Yeah, each one came with separate bits. Mainly it's for the combination to form Bruticus, but the cool thing they also did was so you could attach all the other bits, all the other Combaticons. One to make them look a hell of a lot better, and so you didn't always have the bits hanging around, which I thought worked very well, to be honest. Yeah, right, so who are we going to start with? We're going to start with Brawl. Because I think, well, he is the easiest out of these. Let me just come a little bit closer. Right, so this is Brawl, obviously. This is his original energon release. So I've got the Japanese Super Link version. Of course, he's just like a little tank. There's nothing wrong with this mode, to be honest. I think it's actually a pretty cool mode. But they just decided to make him look a little bit more like his original G1 counterpart. Now then, you get one of these guns with Swindle, and then the other one, exactly the same, except for it's got a couple of little tabs just on the left and the right there. Yeah, you get one with Swindle and you get one with Blast Off. And so what you do with these is, as you can see, little hands just there. Make sure the little tabs on the outside, and we just poke these through just there, like that. If you can get them in. And then you just straighten them up, like so. And then that is supposed to sort of like be a homage to his original G1 sort of, I think where he had those sound cannons or whatever they were called on the back of him there. So it sort of just sort of like represents that really. It doesn't really add a lot to the figure, but then again I don't think it needed a lot adding to it. It's pretty cool. I'm going to stop this video halfway through. I'm going to transform them off screen and I'll show you what they add to them in robot mode, because I think that's a hell of a lot easier than watching me fiddle around trying to transform these. Right, the next one in vehicle mode is Vortex. Now then, this is the original energon release. Like I say, I'm using the energon versions. Mainly because I've got, like I say, I've got the universe counterparts, which this set is mainly designed for, mainly for the colours of the parts. Like these bits are all grey and everything. Like the main unison colour on that is grey, I think. But on these they're all different colours. But I think it works just as well with these ones. Sorry, my voice seems to be going there. Right, so this is the original, like I say, energon version. Now then, what we do now is we disconnect, let me come around this way so you can actually see it. We disconnect the legs, because they're just tabbed in. Then we just rotate them up slightly and then just sort of like easily lean them on the top, like so. Now it doesn't tab in or nothing, so you just got to sort of like hold them there, and then it sort of gives it that look, and you can straighten them up like so. Because they're all on ball joints, it's a little bit fiddly just to try and get them looking right, but it ends up looking something like that. Then what we got to do is we take these bits that we get with Blast Off, and these are like two sort of like, I don't know what you call them, sort of like cannons, sort of like things. I always seem to be lost for words. Right, and all we do now, can't remember exactly what side this goes on. We have these, we rotate the little that bit down, and then we unclip one of these. I can't remember exactly what side this goes on, but we'll find out in a second. Yep, it's going to be this one. So we just undo that little front, and you can see the little hole just there. Let me bring that a little closer, just there. And that is going to attach to this little peg just on the side of him there, like so. It's easier if you just maybe disconnect the arms for a second, because then you get a little bit more clearance. So we push that on there, like that, and then when it's on, just close it up. It doesn't close all the way, but it closes up good enough. Let me just reattach his little hand. Then on the other side, exactly the same, flip that down, open up this side, and then just push that all the way on. Then close it up and then just rotate it. It says in the instruction manual to put them on like that, but because of there's a little tab in there already, you'll never get it on there. So it's easier to open it up, push it all the way on, then just close it up until it sort of like virtually touches. Then what you can do is you can just sort of like straighten them up a tiny tad. Just reposition those, because you're bound to have knocked them out of position, like I always do. And then you can put his arms back. And that is probably as much as I like to do on this guy, because I think this guy just looks brilliant with these on, as you can see. Gives him that sort of like attack helicopter feel that you can sort of like see him coming onto the battlefield like that. Yeah, I'm sure there are helicopters. The only one I can think of is one out of Rambo 3 that's like it, but I'm pretty sure there are others. Right, now then, is another bit what you're supposed to do, but just don't like the look of it. You get these other little gun that comes with each of the figures, and you just push this little tab all the way up until you get to that position. Do the same with this one, like that. And then on the holes just under here, as you can see, we just sort of push these on, like so. Just get that in there. And that's it. So it gives him this sort of look. It doesn't really do a lot for me, to be honest. It still looks alright, but I prefer not having those on there. I mean, it looks alright, but, you know, I mean, he stands up pretty well with them on, but I don't think it needs them. But then again, I think they're just looking for somewhere to put them on, honestly. Right, next thing we're going to do Onslaught. Like, this is his original mode, of course. He's like a small sort of tank, I don't know what you call it, anti-aircraft battery or whatever you want to call it, missile launcher, missile trailer even, because I suppose that's what he was in a G1. You know, it looks alright, but it's a bit small and a bit squat. Right, so what they decided to do with this is actually pretty cool, actually. Alright, so we take this giant turret bit, and then we rotate it this way. We unpeg it there, and we rotate it all the way back down into position, and then we just leave it like this. I like the energon one because it has the Decepticon signs on the top there. The Universe one doesn't seem to have that. Right then, all we do next is we're going to do the top guns, actually, because everything's liable to fall apart if I don't put these on first. Take these giant guns. These are obviously like Onslaught's G1 incarnation. And then we get the side with the giant little tab just there. That one goes on first, and it just basically clips onto this black sort of like roof piece. And then we just push it around until it clicks into position. And there we have it with the guns on top. Now then, we've got to form the rest of his little trailer. It has these two little tabs either side, one there and one just there. And then we take the Bruticus's feet, and like I say, one comes with each of the figures. And then this one just tabs on there, I believe. Or does it? I can't remember now. No, that's for... Ah, yes, I was right, I knew I forgot something. Right, first of all, for this mode, that's when he's in battle station mode. Right, we attach we remove these to the sides like this, like when he's in robot mode. There we go, exposing the two Bruticus connectors. Then we take it like this, and he has two holes in there. Actually, what we're going to do is, where's the other put? We're going to put them together first. I think that's a lot bloody easier. There we go, they just sort of like slot together, nice and easy. They're quite solid. Then they just push into there, like so. And now he has an extended trailer like that. Absolutely fucking brilliant, actually, I like it. And then on these two little holes we put these, which come with each. Actually no, I think they just come with Swindle, these ones. And they're some sort of weird, strange sort of gun. And then he has a little hole just there. And we put them now on these tabs, one either side, so that one goes there. Just slots on nice and easy. Then this goes on there, like so. And then what we do with the Bruticus's massive gun, we just halve it like that, fold it in half, and it just sort of like flicks into position, like so. And then this just stores, how does it go? Is it like this? Can't remember now. Yeah, I think it just stores in there like that. There's just a nice little storage area for it. And then what we do with this sort of like little cod waste piece, this just fits into two holes just on the back here like that. Doesn't stay in too well. Yeah, it's not the best, unfortunately, but it does stay on. It doesn't feel like it wants to stay there, if you know what I mean. But it will stay there, it just gives it a different look. And that is Onslaught's combined mode. Now the back of the feet do seem to be wobble a little bit. They're a little bit loose, but you're not going to hold it like that. You're going to put it on the side down here. And then once you've got it all level, it looks absolutely the best. And then I've taken some pictures of these already. And then you can like be a carrier for like blast off in shuttle mode. Absolutely really good. I like the way they used all the bits of this. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, there we go. My camera decided to cut out on me. For some reason it can only do 8 minutes of video and then it has to stop and write it. Well, I don't know. Bit annoying, but there we go. That's what I've got to put up with. There we go. But it's still miles better than my old camera. Anyway, right. So I was going to actually transform these into the robot modes, but I've decided not to. I'm just going to transform them very quickly into the what is it? Sort of like shuttle launch mode. All we do is we take off all the bits, like so. Then we reattach these bits that go over the leg covers, if you can get them on, because they're a bit bloody stiff. like so. We put them on there. Now then, we take this large gun, because it's rotatable, put it there. Get the two guns, rotate them up like that. Pretty good already, I like it. Now let me put them down there for a second. We get the feet, just separate them. And then like I was going to do earlier, now then we can attach each one to the little holes that are just on the side there. Like so. And then that's almost his base mode done. I've just got to take a quick look at a picture because I knew I was bound to forget it. Where is it? Here we go. There we go. Where is it? So they go on there, that goes on there. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. Apart from I was supposed to separate the two halves on the big gun. Then all we do, once you've got blast off in shuttle mode, because I've left him in robot mode at the moment, this little cod piece just sort of sits there. Oh, if you can get him. It just kind of sits there like so. And then you put blast off in shuttle mode just here. Like I say, I've taken a picture and it will be at the end of this video. It looks pretty good, you know, as an afterthought to use an extra bits. It was pretty good, I did like it. Anyway, right now I'm going to stop this video and now we're going to transform them all into robot mode and carry on. See you in a second. Right, I've transformed them all back into robot mode, and again we're just going to start with Brawl here. So this is his robot mode, quite a good robot mode, I really do like it. Just let down by a bit of kibble at the back there, and some strange sort of flat feet. Anyway, right, so the only thing they added to this fella was basically just a couple of handguns. So now he has this sort of like assault rifle that you can just put in one hand, and this sort of big, whatever you want to call it, rocket launcher-esque. Actually, no, I knew there was a specific way you had to do these. Right. So now then, sorry about this. We put the machine gun, whatever you want to call it, in this hand, and now this goes in this hand, I believe. It's a little bit fiddly, and there we go. So he's put his strange little rocket launcher in this hand. This will only go in his hand, I think. I suppose there must be a way of getting the other one in. I don't know why. But there we go. I probably just had it a little bit off. Maybe you can put it in both hands. But anyway, but that's him with his basically just two handguns, really. Doesn't look too bad. This one looks a bit strange, but you know, I like this gun. This gun does look really good. You've got to sort of like have it at an angle though for him to bend his arm properly. There you go, so you can see it properly. You know, other than that, it looks pretty good. I like it, not too bad. We're going to pop Brawl down there. I've taken some pictures of them all in robot mode and vehicle mode all together, just so you can see them. They do look really good. Right, so then the next fellow is of course Vortex. And again, we have this gun. And now on the instructions don't say to flip out the bottom part of this like we do with Swindle, so I'm not gonna. It just looks a bit different, I suppose. So we put his little handgun in there, and he has one of these strange rocket launchers as well. And put that in his hand like that. There we go. And that's what he looks with his two handguns. And then also, if you move his arms out a little bit, turn around to the back here, and then again we can attach these like rocket launchers. Again, just the same sort of principle. The little hole there goes on the tab, just on the body there. Put that on, and then these become sort of like just above the behind the shoulder rocket launchers. They look really cool. And then so you end up with with Vortex now heavily armed, and it looks really good. I like it. Probably don't need all this strange thing, to be honest. We look just good with this handgun and the rocket launchers behind him, or even just the rocket launchers, really. Either way, quite a good figure. Now then, with Onslaught, it's a different story. I mean, yeah, true, they had to find somewhere for all these bits to go. It's just a shame they couldn't actually find a way to put this on his back, like the original G1 Onslaught. But then again, with this giant bit of fucking kibble right on the back there, they would have been hard pressed to do so. Even that would have looked really fucking horrible. And also, it's a shame that they couldn't do something with the head, because he's got a shit head, to be honest. It looks like bloody Princess Leia. Yes, anyway, right, there is a bit I haven't actually shown you that comes with this set. This is, of course, the redesigned Bruticus head. And that is because I attached to this guy when I first got it to transform him into Bruticus. And then you have to snap it into place, because a lot of people said that on my original Bruticus Maximus review, that I hadn't actually broken it, that the head does detach, and that's right. And then with this one you have to snap it in place much like the original one. I haven't been able to get the bastard off so far. I'm going to have a go. So if anyone's buying this set for the first time, just be warned that you might not be able to get it off. I'm sure there is a way. I'm sure if someone out there knows that they could tell me without breaking it, because I was trying to push it off and it looked like I was going to snap it, and I don't want to snap it. Because at the end of the day, I found a way that you can close all his backpack up with the head on. So I can at least leave it there, but I would like to be able to return it to its original state. Anyway, right, let's attach some of these bits. I'm going to attach the shoulder-mounted rocket launchers last, mainly just because it is a fucking pain in the fucking arse. Right, so we rotate this bit right at the back there, just all the way up to the top. Now then, this, you see the little tab there? That is going to fit into his little robot hand. Now, I believe it goes in this way. Have I actually done this? Why doesn't this one go around? Actually, no, I think it goes on. Oh, I don't know. Let me try rotating it around again. So I haven't actually put these in the robot mode. So there we go. I think it goes like this. You put it actually under his hand. Yes, there we go. It goes under his hand. So then he's holding it like a bloody assault cannon, like you'd see in Space Crusade or something. Which looks pretty cool in my eyes. I do like it. Now then, the little strange little codpiece again does fit onto the back here, whichever way you want to put it round. But it doesn't stay in there too well, so you know that's what it looks like with it on, but it just falls off, so I don't bother. Right, so that's him with those two guns on. What we're going to do next, we're going to put this gun in his hand. We flip over this like that, creating a little handle basically, and then that goes in his hand. You can't really bend him at the elbow now with that gun in, which is a shame really. And you're not going to be able to move the arms either, which is, I can't understand. Anyway, right. Now then, to attach these shoulder-mounted rocket launchers, you open up these panels on the back here, like so. Then, when you put his arms straight, keep them, actually no, you're going to have that one on an angle. Right, now then, as you can see, I don't know if it's going to pick out too well there are two little holes on each shoulder. Now then, on the feet, we have two little tabs, just there. And now then, this, oh I do say now then a lot, don't I? Along with a lot of other stuff. Anyway, right, so then that just basically fits on there. As you can see, it doesn't really hold too well. Let me put the other one in place, and one of these is bound to fall off. So there we have it, and then I just like to try and close these doors up a little bit, like so, to try and hold them in place a little bit better. But this is what he looks like with them on. It does fill out his body a lot more, and it does look like he's carrying quite a massive backpack. You can open up the toes, and if you find some more rocket launchers in here, you've got to be careful because these will just fall off. I was thinking maybe putting some super glue down or some nail varnish or whatever, trying to thicken the joints up so they attach a tiny bit better, but that's the point. They do hold, and at the end of these days you're not going to play with these toys, you're actually going to display these, and you know you don't have to keep them on there for display, don't you, and they'll stay there easily. This guy does remind me of a Valkyrie that I bought, that I did a review on, and he looks pretty cool. I do like it. He does look now very heavily armed for battle, which is pretty good, and they do stand up with all these add-on bits on them. Pretty damn cool. Yeah. So this is all the Combaticons now with all their extra added bits on. And yeah, he does sort of stand up. You've got to sort of like arch him forward at the waist a little bit to stand up. And do something with the legs maybe. Yeah, there we go. He does sort of stand up. Anyway, right, this has been Graham and this has been part 2. And I shall see you soon for part 3. Bye for now.